Welcome everyone back to Brainstorm Brewery. I'm Corbin Hostler, and unlike basically everything in Standard, we have not been banned from your ear holes. We're here, we're ready to talk about it all. DJ and Jason are forced to talk about Standard because we have 4 bans. We're up to 9 bans in the course of a year.
We're not forced to talk about Standard. We're forced to listen to you talk about Standard.
Well, fair enough. It counts. It counts. 9 bans in 12 months. Urza's block had 10 bans in 12 months. So we're almost there. It's crazy. So if
we're not banned from your ear holes, you should be banned from ear holes.
That, actually, I was trying to channel my inner Jason there. That's what I was going with.
I wouldn't have said that.
You definitely would say the word ear hole.
I mean, yeah, that's about what I would have said in that sentence.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I don't know. That was a real clunky.
Whatever, man.
This isn't Cartel Aristocrats, man. You don't have to make the worst transitions.
It wasn't a transition. It was an opening, and it was a brilliant opening.
It was a transition from no podcast to podcast.
Wow, shut up.
Yeah. Man. I would like to transition back to no podcast. Take 2. All right.
Anyways, Ferocidon banned. Attune with Ether banned. Rogue Refiner banned. Ramanap Ruins banned. Yeah, it's crazy. To me, the most interesting...
Is it crazy, or did they just, try to unscrew up a format?
The thing is, everyone kind of talked about Attune with Ether or Rogue Refiner, but it turns out Red was actually the oppressive deck. Right? If you look at their data...
Who are you basing that on?
Yeah, if you look at their data, they shared a bunch of Magic Online data with us across all decks, and the Teamer deck actually didn't even have positive matchups against the majority of the field. It had a positive matchup against Red, and Red had positive matchups against the rest of the field. There was one deck that had a 50.5 winning percentage against Red, and everything else besides Teamer Energy had a losing percentage to Ramanap Red, which had across the entire format a 60% win percentage. That's actually just insane. Teamer Energy wasn't even favored against half the decks in the format, but it was favored against Red, which was better than everything else. So you can play Red and you can beat everything but Teamer Energy, or you can play Teamer Energy, maybe still be able to beat other stuff, right? It's certainly not like those matchups were bad, but you could beat Red. And that's that's essentially how you get, because this Standard format's been interesting because it hasn't been, it's not like sort of a Jace Stoneforge format where, or even, some of the Aetherworks Marvel format where you had to play this deck because it was just so much better. There are decks in this format. There's all these different decks. There's Pummeler decks, there's White Blue Cycling, there's Approach, there's God Pharaoh's Gift. There's definitely actually a bunch of decks, and Teamer Energy has never felt oppressive. It's just the best deck. But it turns out that maybe Red was just the best deck, and Teamer Energy was the tier, the tier 2. I'm not gonna say tier 2, but it wasn't. If Ramanap Red was tier 1, Teamer Energy was the best tier 2 deck, and it was the tier 2 deck that beat Red. Therefore, It was tier 1. And Blueback Control was a deck. There were actually a ton of decks in this format, and none of them seem unreasonable when you look at them. But at the end of the day, it's always Teamer Energy and Red. And it turns out it might be because Red was too good.
And Ferocidon wasn't as much making that deck good as it was making token decks completely unplayable. So
yeah, it made token decks unplayable, and it helped. When the Red deck is going to finish you off by playing lands that kill you, and that was kind of, I like that they banned Ramanap Ruins because that was kind of the hidden strength of the deck is, at some point their land base is going to do 7 damage to you. They're going to hit you with a couple of the Sunscorched Deserts at ping. They're going to throw a few They're going to throw a few deserts at you, and all of a sudden, somewhere between 4 to 6, 7, up to 7 points of damage a game was coming from the mana base. And you can answer the board of that deck, and you can even answer their Hazoret, and you still die. And when you account for Hazoret, you can lock down the board, and you can never take damage from a burn spell from Red, and you can never take damage from a creature, and you can still easily lose the game because Hazoret and the lands will kill you. So that was the issue.
Which is too bad because Ramanap Ruins is the land I always wanted Valakut to be.
I wanted
Valakut to be that if you're playing Red and you're having trouble dealing 20 damage and you're ripping mountains off the top late in the game, that those mountain drops will finish them off. That's what I wanted for Valakut, and everyone's like, wait, what if we just scape shift these all into play? And I'm like, I guess.
Yeah.
So if Vellic had been like legendary, and that would have just been, hey, I peel a mountain and I get a little bit of additional range. So when they made Ravenap Ruins, I was like, yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah, it's actually, and I like what they did with the lands in this set. An Hour of Devastation, right? They made deserts matter and they made lands matter, and I think it's really cool that the deserts did different things, but you could sacrifice any of them to get the effect. But just sort of in context with everything else, the deck was just too good. And Ferocidon's important because one of the ways you beat that deck is by life gain, right? Like I said, if you can lock down the board, theoretically life gain will take you out of range of the burn spells. But Ferocidon, in addition to just shutting down token decks, I remember Abzan and Esper tokens were both a thing in this format at some point.
Aren't you the one that corrects us and makes us say Abzan?
No.
I feel like you are. Coverage guy.
Anyways, so it's... I don't know. It was really interesting. I like that everyone was screaming for a Temur energy ban, or an energy ban in general, and that's fine. I like that they in some ways it wasn't just bowing to pressure. They also looked at the data, and the data supported a red ban a lot more than supported a Temur ban by a lot. And the Temur games are actually good.
if you leave Temur alone, then it's the sole tier 1 deck.
Is it? Because it was apparently only based on the data. It was only the tier 1 deck because it beat red. It has a bunch of 50-50 matchups, and it was actually only favored, like, of the, I think there were like 12 decks or something they listed, it was only favored against 6 of them, or 5 of them, or something.
But I mean,
So
win rate isn't everything, though. Like, there's also the perception of win rate and the perception of, like, how popular the deck is.
Yeah,
'Cause,
do you
like,
think they
if
bowed
everybody's
to
playing
pressure?
the deck because they think it's the best deck, and nobody wants to play anything else, then that's an issue as well.
Because when people, nobody predicted Ferocidon, and nobody predicted Ravenap Ruins, but the data bore that out. But everyone was like, Attune with Aether. I heard, all the energy cards. That was all anybody was talking about. Even me, I was like, I think Attune gets it, and probably like one more.
Yeah, Rogue Refiner was a pretty easy one to see coming. It's interesting though, because think about it: if they had just banned red and made red worse, and that was sort of the reason Temur was doing well. I mean, if Temur was a bunch of 50-50 matchups and a good matchup against red, and then you take red out, now it's just a bunch of 50-50 matchups.
Yeah, but I think people were just like,
I'm not saying
they'll lose to red at F&M, and then they'll like have a 50% match against Temur, and they'll still be mad about Temur energy.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think that in general, basically both of these things sort of illustrate the core problem, in my opinion, is that when you print things that are impossible to interact with or extremely difficult to interact with, it's just never good. And think about it, right? The things they just banned that were lands and energy mechanic you can't interact with.
It's just more purple mana, man. Stop making purple mana.
Yeah,
stop with the affinity. Stop with the free spells. Stop with the. I don't know. Maybe you got.
It's sad because it's a little sad because this format, in my opinion, was unlike, say, the Aetherworks Marvel format, right, or the Emrakul Copter format. This was actually very close to being good. It's very possible this format was a Ravenap Ruins away from being good. And I understand if they're going to make changes, if they're going to ban something, they have to ban stuff to make that, they have to shake it up, right? You can't just say, we think we can ban Ravenap Ruins and things will shift over time. But if that didn't get printed, maybe it doesn't look like this.
I think they didn't want to ban one card and then nothing changes. And
exactly.
Shit.
I mean, they had to.
Wasn't that why they implemented like 2 ban cycles though? Like they specifically made.
I think they got rid of
ban
that.
cycle 5 weeks down the road.
I thought they got rid of that. I don't remember.
I think they got rid of that so they wouldn't have to cut again. Because if you do ban and you do a ban again in another couple months,
you got to pull the Band-Aid off. But DJ, I think they got rid of that because people were doing this whole waiting, watching, and it created an expectation. I think they just said the ban cycles are going to be irregular, but they're always going to announce when the next one is, which is what they did in this. They said the next one's coming in February, or not February, after the Modern Pro Tour. Maybe after February, I don't remember. Whenever. It's after the Modern Pro Tour. So I don't know.
Let's talk about the other relevant banned and restricted announcement. I mean, I'm just kidding. I didn't expect anything to get banned in EDH. Everyone's like, Paradox Dungeon. I'm like, no, I don't know. I think EDH is in a real good spot right now. maybe an unban to shake things up, but I kind of think that format's healthy, and I think you just go by your Paradox engines. I think
kill Mana Crypt.
Maybe, I don't know. I think Mana Crypt is what everybody pretends Sol Ring is, which is you're just way too far ahead.
No, I agree. Like, Mana Crypt is objectively better than Sol Ring, and I think the fact that it adds an RNG coin flip to every upkeep that's usually meaningless, but you still have to keep track of it every turn is just like
it's annoying.
Yeah, it's not super healthy.
But it's also like an $80 card, so like I don't know.
Unbanned Coalition Victory.
I mean, they don't like stuff like that, but like, man,
they're wrong.
That's hard. That card's hard. It's hard to get that.
You can cast Tooth and Nail for 9 mana and win the game, but somebody lost to Coalition Victory one time.
Yeah, I don't know.
If we want to throw darts at how Wizards bans things, we can't even talk about the rules committee ban list. It's a whole other can of worms.
I have this weird aggro, if you don't like it, go make your own format response anytime people bitch about the EDH rules committee. And I don't know why I'm so, like, they're not immune to criticism, but at the same time, it's just like, maybe it's because people try to tell me what 75% means all the time. And I'm just like, I'm so mad about that. So anytime people are trying to tell Sheldon and company what EDH is about, I'm just like, no. They tell you what it's about.
Well, that's
even though people are gonna run with it, it's like they made a thing. So just play it.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
No
one cares. No one cares what your house rule banning and unbanning is.
The same can be said for their playgroup, because that's literally what the rules committee is a house rule.
Commander has
like
outgrown
playgroup decision that just suddenly affects everybody.
Yeah, but I don't care about the opinion that Wizards needs to take over. I don't care about the opinion that the RC shouldn't be in charge, and it's like a bunch of nerds meeting in one dude's house and talking about what beat them in their playgroup. I don't care about any of that.
But that's, whatever. Commander has outgrown the rules committee. That's just the reality of it. It's not going to change because Wizards... It's not going to change due to anything on Wizards, since Wizards is not going to take control of the format. It will happen when the rules committee decides that they should no longer be in charge of it. And that's probably only going to happen when they mess up badly.
And I don't know that they will, because they're not really making big moves.
Right. But I think
Prophet of Krufix, it hurt, but I don't think
their bans are everything about it. It's just their house group. It's who beats them with what. They decide they don't like it. They decide, hey, let's play with silver bordered cards.
No, because that's not true. Because
yes, it is.
Because Iona would be banned and all kind of.
No, because they don't play that. No,
It's not banned because they choose not to play that card.
I've heard a lot of stories of this play group lost to these cards, and therefore those cards later got banned, or they just some of the cards that don't get banned, their play group has just decided to not use in degenerate ways, which is fine for them. But like I said, their decisions impact a lot of people, but
they impact us a lot. Yeah, so they didn't change anything because the format's fine. If you think the format's not fine, I don't know, make house rules.
Yeah. Anyways,
silver border cards are now banned. It's the 15th, so
that's we're back to real life with Commander.
It was man, if your group wants to keep doing it, and if your group wants to use the new Diabolic Tutor that gets crap out of your binder or whatever, that's probably pretty good in EDH.
All right, Jason, we just launched into Standard here, but I hear that you have a story you want to tell us.
Yeah, there's no real good way to segue into this other than that, as you know, sometimes I drink on this podcast.
Only sometimes.
Didn't know that, but now I do,
I'm drinking
I guess.
like a $7 a bottle beer in honor of this podcast. I guess I just look like a drinker. And I was hanging out with a friend after the comedy show last night. We were at his place. I stayed there till like 4 in the morning because I'm a good dad. And I was driving home, and a cop pulls me over, and he's like, "You have a headlight out." And I was like, "Oh, that sucks," because I just got my headlight replaced, and apparently the other one went out 2 weeks after. So that's cool. And I was like, all right, here's my license and everything. And he comes back to the car. He's like, we're going to play a fun game called Get Out in the Snow where it's 2 degrees and do the field sobriety test. And I definitely got to do the field sobriety test dance. And then he's like, on a scale from 1 to 10, where 10's the drunkest you've ever been in your life, what are you? I was like, a 0.5? Like, why are we doing this? It's so fucking cold. And I was afraid, because I don't know if you've ever done the field sobriety test.
No, you're not. And as a matter of fact, you're not supposed to, right?
It's not supposed to what?
The field I've read some stuff from lawyers that the field sobriety test, it's all based on the judgment of the officer, and it's never used as anything other than confirmation of guilt.
And I'm just like, just give me the PBT and let's get this over with. But they wouldn't. They made me. And this is my second time doing it. And I blew like a third of Michigan's legal limit the first time I was given it, so I was sort of like, I know this test and it's really annoying. And I was afraid I was gonna like shiver, and they're like, your eyes shifted when we did the light test.
That's what I'm saying. You're supposed to deny that and just blow in it, because they can use it however they want against you. It will never clear you of anything.
Well, it just got them to leave me alone, so I did it. It was fine. I blew a 0.00 as I predicted. I was like, I stopped drinking at 9 p.m. I'm good. And it was 4 a.m. and they still busted my balls, man. Like, the guy patted me down and everything, and they didn't even give me a ticket for the headlight. They're just like, all right, go home. And I realized that the way I go home is I drive right by the strip club. So they thought I was coming from the strip club.
Oh, yeah.
And if I'm at a strip club, I'm going to be drinking all night. So I bet they got 4 or 5 dudes last night. You know,
probably
just coming out. I bet they did.
So here's the scary thing about drinking and then driving. Obviously, you shouldn't do it, right? But the issue is, right, there's a legal limit for a reason. And if you're above the legal limit, you should not drive. The problem is, as a normal person who drinks and then, you know, usually waits to quote sober up or whatever, and then you drive home, you actually don't know until you've maybe like basically played around with it. You don't know what it takes to put you to the legal limit, right?
Oh, I'm a fucking tank at this point.
Well, so it's like 0.08, right? But like, how are you supposed to know unless you're just literally sitting there testing it when you're drinking, whether you're at a 0.04 or whether you're at a 0.10, right?
I think they're just like err on the side of don't drive.
Of course. Well, and that's
a little bit arbitrary.
And that's what most of us do, right? I'm just saying, it's just, you never know. You always have that fear, like, I had 2 beers at dinner. I don't actually know what that does to me on the scale, because I don't understand anything about the scale.
I think if you have 2 beers, it doesn't really matter what your body weight is, unless they're really strong beers. I think you're fine. And then you metabolize a drink an hour. Right, like you completely metabolize, and one drink is 8 ounces of beer, 4 ounces of wine, 1 ounce of liquor. I think
that is seems accurate-ish.
You metabolize that much.
The wine and liquor is accurate.
Yeah, so I
think
you can do the math at least, but yeah, it's arbitrary. But like,
I guess
I was just
know.
annoyed that they busted my butt, because I'm like, I don't drive drunk.
Like, I feel like
I drink, but I don't drive drunk, so it's just really
annoying. Well, of course, right? None of us think we drive drunk, but like I said, how are we supposed to know we haven't driven when we're at a 0.08 as opposed to a 0.05?
I think you'll be buzzed at that point.
Okay.
But I just like it seems like every time I drink, how I feel is different. It's weird. Sometimes you just you drink all night and feel nothing, and sometimes you like.
And it depends on what you.
I have 1 beer and an empty stomach.
Right.
And
it depends what you've eaten and so on. I honestly think that sort of I don't know if this would like, you know, be kosher or whatever, but like a realistic useful item for college students to have would be something that you can blow into and test to see how drunk you are. And yes, it would
promise
obviously
you
be
have
used
that-
as a prop in a party thing or whatever. But it actually would be kind of useful to know, oh, when I have a couple beers in a short period of time, I do this, or one shot does this. And you'd actually, even if
when you're 19 and you don't know shit, that's way more useful. Like, I'm an adult.
Yeah.
I know about myself.
Right.
A little bit more than a 19-year-old.
A lot of it is people, as you get older, a lot of times you do something and you're like, dang, I was probably too drunk to do that. Right? But imagine if you're just younger and you have...
Like, record a set review.
If you had something that just told that you could actually kind of play around with when you were drinking in college and figure out where you can sort of correlate the level of drunk you feel to how drunk your body actually is, and use that to make intelligent decisions. I don't know.
I like how DJ's been quiet this whole time because he's 90 pounds. He's like, I had a thimble full of Sunny Delight that had been in the refrigerator a little too long, and I vomited.
I
woke up with my pants around my ankles, and I drunked out my ex-girlfriend 100 times. So.
DJ, you don't drink, or you've never drank?
I don't drink.
So, but you have drank. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
DJ does heroin. And
he just doesn't mess around with that pussy
so
stuff,
here's why I wanted to tell this story. He got me out of the car. He goes, "You're not under arrest," and I was like, "Yeah, I agree." And then he's like, "Put your hands behind your back," and I was like, "Are you gonna cuff me?" He didn't. He took both of my thumbs in his left hand and held my thumbs together while he patted me down, and I was like, "This has made me so uncomfortable." I was like, I would rather have a gloved finger in my rectum right now than this guy gingerly holding my thumbs as he's like, "I'm going to pat you down with the back of my hand now just to make sure you don't have a weapon." And I was like, all right.
I mean,
cops have killed 58 Americans in 2018, and there are 2 of you, but okay. Pat me down for a wet, but him holding my thumbs just made me so uncomfortable. It's like, either you think I'm gonna grab your gun, in which case have me put my hands on the car, which would have made me feel weirder. I think probably. I've never had a cop told me to lean against the car and spread them.
I don't even have
maybe that would have been
experiences
weirder,
with
but
cops,
just,
man.
I've
had cops show up
my
at my house
privilege.
for a party once or twice, but never and you get pulled over. But I've never. I guess one time I got pulled over from in front. Like, I was just speeding through a construction zone late at night, and a cop was in front of me, and I basically went up to him very quickly because I was speeding, and obviously they weren't. And he just turned on his lights, and I was like, "Yeah,
yep."
But he actually made me get out and go sit in the car with him, which is kind of weird, I guess, in retrospect.
He just wanted to talk. He's like, "This shift is so lonely."
I don't even think I got a ticket.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know. Like,
I did
I just wanted to mention that. Like, sometimes they'll grab your thumbs, and I don't know if that's a Michigan State Police thing because that guy was a state trooper rather than like a Kalamazoo cop. But fuck, man, that was real weird. And I wanted to see if you guys thought that what would make you the most uncomfortable. A, cop has you lean against the car and spread them. B, he cuffs you for the pat down. Or C, he gingerly takes both of your ungloved thumbs in his left hand.
Well, you said it was
ushers
cold
you into
out.
the pat down process.
You said it was cold out, so he was keeping
I was
keeping
wearing,
you warm,
I was
buddy.
wearing a hoodie.
Yeah, it's just body heat.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been to
Is
the
that
air.
why he pressed up against me and I could feel his breath on my ears?
I fly a lot, so I'm used to the pat down at TSA. So I guess
I wear sweatpants. I'm like, if you want to touch this dick, go ahead. Using the back of my hand, I'm gonna give you a partial erection. I'm like, yeah, you are. More like TNA, am I right? Boom. All right. So you guys think that the thumb grab is a weird maneuver?
Yeah, I think
Like
that's.
me?
I
that's
guess
highest
I don't
on
know.
the
I
list.
don't understand why any of those are necessary. Why can't you just stand there and put your arms up in the I don't understand.
Honestly, if his partner had drawn his gun and pointed it at my chest, that would have made me less uncomfortable
No way.
than a grown man grabbing another man's thumbs.
No way, man. I do not want a cop pointing a gun at me.
I'm like, if this is what you need to feel safe from a dude shivering at 4 a.m. just trying to get home, so his wife doesn't wake up at like 6 and be like, "Where?"
Yeah, I mean, getting home at 4 is the same as getting home at midnight, as long as your wife's asleep.
If she's asleep, yeah, she has no idea. So, so that was a weird thing that happened. A man touched my thumbs. I don't want to hear your libertarian tweets about you gotta tell him that you don't want to do the fields, but just shut up. I don't care. I'm a white dude. Nothing bad's gonna happen to me. I'll be fine. I'll just do the sobriety test because I was sober. I'll blow in their little tube. 0.00, by the way, so that's a high score. Last time it was like a .03.
Playing golf.
But
here.
they dinged me. Yeah, right? They dinged me because I was like, I have a negative BAC. I got too much blood. No, they dinged me because I was coming away from a Halloween party. So there I am in like zombie makeup, like doing the field sobriety test. Somewhere like they're laughing to dash cam footage of me just like dressed like a zombie, like heel to toe. So this is definitely the lowest I've ever blown out a PBT. But don't drink and drive, kids. And cops are just doing their jobs, and you probably won't get shot. But maybe that's just white privilege, because I've definitely just like laughed. I was going to a comedy show and I got pulled over in East Lansing, like, way too fast through campus. And my buddy's like, dude, this ticket, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, watch what happens. The cop comes up to the window, sees it's a 33-year-old man in a Prius with a car seat in the back, and he's like, you're not what I'm looking for. He didn't even, he's just like, slow down through campus. I'm like, all right, thumbs up.
Yeah,
I was older than the cop. Like, campus cops love to fuck with like students, but he's like, is that a car seat? All right, slow down, Gramps.
I actually did a
that's
semester
been my
internship with Oswego County. Sheriff's
Wait, are you
Department a couple
kidding
years
me?
ago.
You're the Fuzz? DJ's the Fuzz?
Dude, I told you that I was an intern in the Battle Creek Police Department Forensic Chemistry Lab. I told you that. We were both... I didn't know DJ was the Fuzz.
You're both on the... What is this?
Yeah.
I'm not...
I feel uncomfortable now.
that pro-cop. I feel like I was
You're
like,
not uncomfortable,
maybe I want
Corbin,
to be
until I
a
grab-
part of the police department. And then I interned there, and I was like, oh, God.
DJ, if you come
They
for
all
my
voted for
thumbs next
Bush.
time I see you, I swear to God, if you come for my thumbs, man.
Next time I see you, you're buying me Fogo, so...
Yeah, he's going to put both your thumbs behind your back and then feel for your
I don't
wallet.
even remember what we bet on. I don't think we didn't even.
Oh, I don't even know.
We didn't even bet. I don't know you, Fogo.
It's a good thing we recorded that.
What was it?
The fact you said that the unhinged lands would drop more than 10%.
It's not my fault that Wizards forgot how to print sets. They can print all the Eternal Masters and Iconic Masters in the world, but they can't print some freaking lands and Unhinged, Unglued, whatever it is. It's stupid. I blame Wizards.
You're unstable. Yeah, I like all the dummies online that are like, this was collusion between the Wizards and the Rules Committee. And I was like, yeah, collusion? The Rules Committee knew they wouldn't print enough product? Like, are you kidding? Now that Wizards have made all the money they're going to make off of
I'm going to lose
Unstable,
two
they
bets
can make their
because
cards
of that.
illegal.
I bet with DJ and I bet with somebody else, and I'm going to lose them both because Wizards, despite doing nothing but printing more product than we want over the past 2 years, somehow didn't print the one product we all knew that people would want to buy.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
Yes.
So, to sort of put a capper on my story, you should drink. Drink alcohol. Don't drive, but when you drink... See this handsome glass that I'm holding up?
No.
This could be yours if you go to patreon.com/brainstorm.
Wait, I can do that too. Look, I have a Brainstorm
Give us
Brewery
money.
glass now, but mine has chocolate
cool.
milk in it. Little different, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we can sell these to children too. It's like, oh, I got Bosco in mine, mommy. No, I'm drinking a Founder's Backwood Bastard because I was lucky and I found a 4-pack of them. So.
Speaking of the Patreon, I'll shill it for once in my life because one of our $40 patrons decided to step down, which I won't lie, I may be partially responsible for because we've been cryptocurrencying together in the Brainstorm Brewery Discord. And they decided that they didn't need magic, they needed cryptocurrency more, so they got rid of their cards. However, what that means is there's now a $40 spot open for you to buy your way onto this podcast. If you want to come tell Jason how bad his taste in beer is, if you want to tell him how weird it is that he likes another man to touch his thumbs, if you want to make fun of DJ for, being DJ, or if you want to come tell me how valuable my standard opinion is, you can do that. You can buy your way onto the cast. So that was my show.
Do you think that was homophobia? You think that's what maybe that was? put my thumbs
Well,
together.
all I know is you talked about this man fondling your thumbs, but then you also talked about him giving you an erection.
I said I would rather have a man's gloved finger in my rectum, so I'm definitely more homophilic than homophobic, I would say, in this instance. I don't want to be accused as like, you just don't want a man caressing your thumbs. And maybe I don't. That was a little intimate.
Anyway, so go check out brainstormbrewery.com. And I guess in this case, it's patreon.com/brainstormbrewery. We also have another challenge in the works. You know, we had a big push to get Jason to be Guy Fieri, and that worked out pretty well. But we have something else. And DJ fought against this one for a long time, but it is happening.
DJ's a little one. Corbin is a cheater, and he's drinking chocolate milk to build up fat in his mouth so he can do this challenge. When the Patreon gets to $1,500, we are going to buy those stupid ghost pepper chips that are like $70 each now on eBay because the company that makes them is like, oh, the one chip challenge chips real popular, so we're just gonna not produce them and let the secondary market make them real expensive. So we're gonna go on eBay. We'll pay whatever it takes to get 3 of those. What are they? Are they ghost pepper?
I
Are they
have no
Scotch
idea,
bonnet?
man. I don't know anything about it.
They're like million Scoville.
I've been
chips or
training
something
my
like
body
that.
for this moment for years.
Yeah.
All those trips to Buffalo Wild Wings, week after week, day after day, and on my off days, going to Chipotle. I am ready for this.
You get Parmesan garlic.
No, I don't. I get hot.
At Buffalo, you get 6 honey barbecue and 6 Parmesan.
Jason, I've ordered the same thing from Buffalo Wild Wings every time I've ever been there, and it is hot.
I get hot that I eat a pound of celery and drink the ranch.
I don't
You're
like
a woman.
ranch.
I
don't
guarantee
like celery,
that I
man.
will.
I eat the hot wings. The end. I don't mess around with. I don't want anything else from Buffalo Wild Wings. That's what I get. That's what I eat, and I have a glass of water. That's it.
I am going to destroy this one chip challenge. DJ is going to tap out first.
DJ is
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
He
I'm
might
gonna
die.
win.
He might die. His face will catch fire. Corbin is going to be like, oh, I can do the chip, but I'm just going to destroy you both. And
I'm accepting.
we're going to try to podcast with our mouths on fire, and that's going to be very funny. You guys know you want to see that, but hey, the chips are expensive, so we're only going to do that when our Patreon gets to $1,500 a month.
Yeah,
so
well,
go to patreon.com/brainstorm brewery and make us do stupid junk like that.
I will straight up die.
Yes, that's
Good.
what
Then
we're
DJ will
hoping
die,
for.
and we'll replace it with Jim Casale like we always wanted to. It'll be fine.
We'll fulfill the plan.
Right?
Okay, so the one rule for that has to be that no one can go off camera. Right? We need to see DJ cry.
I don't want DJ putting a Pringle in his mouth because he did some sleight of hand under the
That's
counter
true too.
either.
Yeah, we have to be able to see you pop the seal.
Bitch, that was a bugle. You're not fooling anybody. I bet my daughter could do it. For whatever reason, when Brittany was pregnant, she craved spicy food all the time. And now my daughter loves spicy stuff, like, more than I do. It's crazy. There's something to that. For, like, whatever you got in the womb, like, you...
Sure thing, man. Whatever you say.
Is there not a food that your wife craved that your kid seems to have an affinity for?
Nope.
No.
My wife just got terrible heartburn while she was pregnant.
Oh, that's too bad. No, Brittany really craved spicy food, and like Lily loves spicy food. So good for her. Maybe I'll have her do the one chip challenge. She could die.
I don't know if somebody might call like Child Protective Services on you if you try to give your 2-year-old the one chip challenge.
Oh, you shouldn't give that chip to him, baby. Baby gonna catch fire. I don't know why it's like some Louisiana swamp person. What are you doing? It's like, that's who delivers. That's why they're $70 because like someone from the bayou just comes up and delivers
somebody flies up in an airboat, like
right. It's just an airboat just over the snow.
Yeah, I mean, they
comes
go,
right up into my front.
Yeah, they obviously go water boy style here, Bobby Boucher style in a water boat.
They're blasting, I put a spell on you, and they just like go right up and ring my door. Hey, I'm delivering the chip. What? I'm delivering the chip.
Yeah,
I can't understand. I'm delivering the chip. All right.
The real problem
Don't
we've
give this chip to a baby.
The problem we've had is we have a couple things, right? Marianne and I obviously live in Oklahoma, where it's very southern, and we don't necessarily like that, right? We also aren't going to let him play football because, brain injuries, whatever, right? However, my kid is 20 months old. The first 2-syllable word he learned to say, besides just like dad, like 2 different syllables, was football. My wife has bought him a plastic football and now a full-size football. And he loves to watch football on TV and scream football. And every time we walk by a truck, he goes, truck, truck, and loves it and wants to go up and mess with it. So we're doing something wrong here.
Your kid's all country. He's the worst nerd.
Yeah,
Your kid's when he's 3, he's gonna give you a wedgie and flush your magic cards down the toilet.
My kid he makes other kids cry, and he's just a bully already. I don't know.
Oh, so he's definitely your kid then.
Well, yeah, that's true. I don't know. She loves football, and everyone's like, let's show him the water boy, and he can say foosball's the devil. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. This is the opposite of what we're trying to do.
You don't understand. I'm going to go to every one of his high school practices and wait for him to tear his ACL.
Well, you know what? Tearing the ACL would be great. It's, tearing his brain apart that I'm more concerned about.
All right.
You learned that from your wife talking to her friends about how your magic cards suck.
This is going to be like a family ties thing. Like, you know how kids rebel against their parents. So, like, Family Ties, for those who don't know, in the 80s, Michael J. Fox was on a show where he had hippie parents, so he turned into this, like, Republican dick to rebel against his parents, and Corbin's kid is going to be such a bully. Because you're a nerd.
Yeah, but I was a bully in high school, so you can't really...
My daughter's going to rebel against me, because when I was in high school, I didn't have sex with any boys. So I feel like she's going to rebel against me. Like 0. It was like a boy breathalyzer. It was like I blew a 0.0 on the boy scale, and maybe she'll blow more than 0. That's what I'm saying.
Got it.
That's how she's gonna. Maybe if I just become really gay, that'll keep her chaste in high school. I don't care what happens when she's out of the house.
Did you get that cop's number?
I came home and my dad was on the couch and this guy was rubbing his thumbs and I was like, ugh, I don't even like boys. Hey man, whatever I gotta do, just like I don't care what happens once you're out of my house, but
man,
Dad's gonna be real gay till you're in college.
I don't even know how to move on from that.
We are off the.
We're probably supposed to talk about standard cards that are going to be good.
I think we're at an hour now. That's the podcast.
We are 37 minutes in. Anyways. Oh wow! All right. So about standard, am I right?
So I went back and I looked at Ixalan, at the stuff that's kind of expensive in Ixalan, and Carnage Tyrant still reigning supreme despite that never really materializing. Varaska's the number 2 card. Search for Ascanta, number 3, not surprising. But Hualti and Jace are both above Hostage Taker, which surprised me. Varaska's Contempt, Growing Rights of Italmok, and then you kind of have...
I think it's the intro deck Hualti that's actually beating out...
Dinosaur Knight?
Yeah, that's actually the intro deck one, which is curious.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, just because, like, who's buying it? Those intro decks are a weird proposition. You get the... That makes sense. What's the other Hualti worth?
Like $4, $5.
Yeah. Not a ton.
Yeah, the one that makes dinosaurs is like 4 or 5, and the one that, like, puts counters on dinosaurs is like 7 or 8.
So, something I expressed regret about last week when we did the set review, but, like... JVL was like, it's like 3 a.m., leave me alone. Which made sense, because we kept him for way longer than we said we were going to, because we're garbage. I feel like we gloss over some of the stuff that's pre-selling for under $1, because like, this is obviously crap, but it's not obviously crap. I feel like every set has its Painseer, right? Which is like the $1 card masquerading as a $12 card, and I feel like every set has a Tireless Tracker, which is the $7.90 card masquerading as a 79-cent card. So I kind of think there's more to talk about in the sub $1 range, or at least you don't gloss over all of it, because there's stuff that goes up. If you look, Rampaging Ferocidon was like a bulk rare when this set came out. Death Gorge Scavenger was like $1. Regisaur Alpha was cheaper than $3. A lot of stuff kind of went up. Settle the Wreckage was a card we weren't super high on, so I feel like there's some stuff sub $1 that's going to go up. And I feel like we glossed over that a little bit, so I kind of want to take a second stab at some of the stuff that we might not have done justice on the set review. And I feel like you still have some time on some of this stuff before it goes up based on the changing face of standard.
Well, we have no idea what's going to end up being played. And that's the things we did a set review, and it was instantly rendered null and void because it wasn't just that, they banned something, so now maybe Energy's not the defined best set. They just completely threw the format wide open. So we've seen Rekindling Phoenix jump up. We've seen Kumena jump up. All the Merfolk cards are going up from Rivals of Ixalan. And that I have a couple picks from Ixalan I like as a result of that. But basically everything we talked about last week, all the logic and reasoning we used, that was in a different world now.
Yep, which is unfortunate. Is Settle the Wreckage a buy at $3? Is Legion's Landing a buy at $3?
I think that...
What's the deck? Is Regisaur Alpha a buy at $3?
I think Kumena's Speaker and Merfolk Branchwalker are probably buys at 50 cents.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I like the double Explorer Merfolk from Rivals.
Well, yeah, if we're talking from Rivals, double Explorer Merfolk Jade Ranger is one of the ones that's been jumping. Jade Light Ranger. Although it is worth noting, I'm using market price now on MTG stocks because they have market price. It's great. At least I think I'm using market price here on the Ixalan.
I like
page.
Sanctum Seeker at $1. What do you guys think?
I kind of do too, to be honest.
Because I kind of think with Rampaging Ferocidon gone, maybe some sort of vampire thing has a chance. And Sanctum Seeker, it doesn't even necessarily have to be vampire, but I feel like they make the best tokens. You got Legion's Landing, and you got crap like that.
Queen's Commission, if you want.
Yeah.
I like the Ascend one better than that card if we're talking vampire 4-drops.
Sanctum
Are you
Seeker
talking the guy that domes them when you flip up the CMC?
Yeah, it's the
because it reminds you of Duskmantle Seer, and you'd like a second stab at getting that right.
Well, that's also Jake talked up that card, and I agree with him. To be honest,
I
think that basically Ramanap Red will still be playable. Red Green Energy will probably be playable, and maybe a really sneaky pick is the uncommon. I don't remember the name of it. The Red Green Energy uncommon that attacks for a lot. Certainly worse without a tune, but I think energy decks are going to exist. But I'm going to be honest, everyone's been wanting to play their tribal decks, and now they've basically banned enough from standard that people are going to play their tribal decks. And maybe blue-black control comes back. Like Search, I think at this point in time, Search for Azcanta is probably the most broken card in standard. So
that and Scarab God seem really good.
So I think if Search for Azcanta decks go up, I kind of think there's a little bit of upside at on what is it, the blue Gear Hulk,
Torrential Gear Hulk.
Yeah, I think it's down at about 25% of its all-time high, and I think it could get up to 50% of its all-time high.
Certainly could be.
So that's a growth of 100%. I think you can make 100% buying Torrential.
Blue Black Control's worst matchup by far was red, and red, like I said, I don't think it'll be dead, but I think enough. I just don't know that people are going to want to play it right now, right?
Well, I think Ferocidon shut off some of the lifelinky stuff too that black does well, and I think some of the draining and some of the lifelinking is maybe a little bit more doable now. Just being able to deal them 7 damage, like you said, with their land base, plus they can't even gain any life to mitigate that was oppressive. And I didn't really see Ferocidon. I'd like to listen to what I said about Ferocidon 3 months ago. I liked the card, but I don't remember if I said buy it at $1. I'm inclined to think I did not.
I think at least here in the beginning, people are basically, if we're talking financially, short term, there's upside to all the tribal cards. And the other one that's worth talking about is unexplored territory or unclaimed territory, right?
Unclaimed territory at $2, yeah.
Yeah, and $2 I believe is actually higher than I was a little. Yeah, market price on it's $2.50, and I guess it's kind of always been around here, but it was closer to $2 for a while. Now, keep in mind, we're going to Rivals of Ixalan. There's not going to be a ton of Ixalan opened. This card is modern playable. It's Commander playable. It's 60 card casual playable, and now it's going to be all over the place,
foil.
and it's going to be all over the place in Standard. Regardless of whether or not those decks end up being the best or whatever, people are going to be playing their tribal decks, and I think there's every reason to expect that this hits $4. So it's maybe it's not necessarily a lot of money to be made on any of these. Although I do think like Kumina Speaker, Merfolk Branchwalker have great upside. But I mean, not that you shouldn't have them, but make sure you have your unclaimed territories.
And I kind of like to foil it around $4 because I think if it doesn't get reprinted in the future,
that has like a promo. It's like a draft weekend promo. Like Unclaimed Territory has some kind of promo that has
there is
the same
something. I
exact
agree.
art.
I don't remember what it was though.
Yes.
I don't remember
All right,
what the promo was, but I do believe it exists.
I believe in Unclaimed Territory. Yeah, it's
a league
Magic League promo, and the art is exactly the same. It's just got that little
and it has like the definition of what promo it is down in the corner.
I mean, they're listed on TCG Player. There's not infinite of them. There's a lot.
Well, a lot of stores are sold out of this promo.
Yeah.
I kind of don't hate that promo at $4.
Well, the promo's only 3. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's what TC. Yeah, the set foil is $4 TCG low, and the promo's 3. Yeah.
It's hard to know because we're talking about a set without masterpieces, and I'm also talking up. I'm talking up on commons. Like I think the fact that Kumina Speaker is almost like it's going to be probably it's a 3 or 4 of in the modern Merfolk decks. It's a 4 of in the Standard deck, and you can buy them for basically a quarter right now. I think there's probably if Merfolk becomes a tier 1 deck and it has a lot of support, there's we look at Long Tusk Cub sort of thing, right? Look at Whirler Virtuoso, look at Rogue Refiner, look at Harness Lightning. We've seen a lot of $1 to $2
Do you like
uncommons.
Kapala at $1 if Merfolk is...
No, I don't even think Kapala's good in the deck.
Yeah, a lot of people were talking that up as like they're a replacement to who was it? Kira, yeah.
In modern, I don't like it.
I don't.
It's fine. I don't even like it in Standard. The deck has 1,000,000 3-drops, and it's not one of the better ones.
Yeah. And it's not a build around either, so like EDH isn't going to really do anything with it.
All right. So what cheap cards do you want?
Leave that at $1.
What cheap cards do you want to touch on, Jason?
Well, I had a list here that I wrote last week. Some of the stuff that I think is EDH relevant. I really like Dead Man's Chest. I know DJ doesn't, but I kind of think that's one of the better cards in the set.
Which one is that?
That's the one where you enchant their creature, and then if it dies, you exile cards equal to its power, and then you can play them with any kind of mana.
Okay.
It's the Gonti in a package, and it's not good for Standard.
Well, no, it's not good for Standard. I kind of like it's going to be a bulk rare, and I think it has EDH upside.
I think it's going to be a bulk rare and stay a bulk rare for the next 10 years.
10 years? Okay, let's bet on that. In 10 years, I'll buy you Fogo if it's still a bulk rare.
Done.
Good bet,
I like
guys.
Tendershoot Dryad overperformed. That was a card we were all like, this card's nuts. And then I played it at the pre-res. I'm like, this is nuttier than nuts. I think Tendershoot Dryad's got to do something in something.
It also could be a plan for
Dominaria.
It could be a plan for Dominaria.
Yeah, because there's bound to be some sort of sapling action going on there. So I like Tendershoot Dryad, and it makes it so easy to turn on your City's Blessing.
Yeah.
I mean, in EDH it's trivial, but like even in Standard, I think Tendershoot Dryad makes it.
I agree. I think Tendershoot Dryad could make it in Standard because it's just very good.
That was my pick as like last week as the card I think is very, very good, and I still think that card's very, very good.
I think people are really excited about Release to the Wind. Like all my EDH friends are really high on this card, and it sort of looks like a really bad Cloud Shift at first, but when you think about how dynamic the card is, where you could just suspend your like Draining Welk to replay it, or you could like bounce your own dude, or you could bounce their dude. Like if they cheat something into play, you could suspend it for 3 or 4 turns before they have the mana to even replay it. Stuff like that. I feel like the card has so many uses that like I could see people picking it up. And anytime a bunch of EDH players reach a consensus, I listen. So this isn't just me evaluating this card. This is a bunch of different people. And sometimes they're wrong because they all really like Fractured Identity, and that isn't really going anywhere. But that card's real good, but just like the deck it's in, it doesn't matter. Every other card is soaking up all the value. What else did I like? World View. I think the ability to dump a bunch of lands into play at once is pretty good. And Path of Discovery, I think it might be narrow because like Sidisi and stuff like that, it's really nuts. But I just kind of think, as much as it is 4 mana for an enchantment that kind of doesn't do anything, if you're making creature tokens, the fact that you're just exploring all day is really useful. So I kind of like Path of Discovery at nothing. I don't know what you guys like in the set.
Nope.
That's cheap right now. Nothing? You like Tendershoot Dry and that's it?
I mean, I don't think there's any like commander picks for the set.
I think
Induced Amnesia is a better card than anybody thinks.
Sure, but like I think we can wait like a year and then it'll be a bulk rare.
I won't lie, guys. I'm looking towards Ixalan for the things they're going to pick up. Because we can try to we can play the game.
That's the stuff that's already established and
something like Maverick Fane, I think has a lot of upside because we've seen vampire decks. One of them did well at the Pro Tour playing like 4 of Maverick Fane, and there's no reason that deck isn't going to be better now. And Maverick Fane's climbed from $1 to like $1.50 now. So it could easily be like the deck pops, it's $5.
That's the kind of card I want to focus on instead of like whether or not we should buy Dead Man's Plate at $1.50 right now, or like whether or not we should
Maverick Fane's got a proven track record. Gishath, the stupid big dinosaur, also seems to have bottomed out. It's a mythic. We now have rampant growth in standard again.
But there's stuff in Rivals I want to keep an eye on, and when it bottoms out, I want to look.
Yeah,
at it,
absolutely.
But the stuff from Ixalan is basically established, and I think there's some upside. Some of the stuff that maybe we glossed over when we did the set review, and it's gotten even better in the face of these bannings. So I would, the stuff we talked about in Ixalan, there's quite a few picks there.
I also think, I hate to keep going back to uncommons, but I just basically want to call out some of the best uncommons in Ixalan that are going to see more play in this standard format, and Ixalan's Binding is one of them, because if you look at the format now and you look at what the power cards are, it's Search for Azcanta, it's Scarab God, it's Glorybringer, it's Hazoret. In Ixalan's Bindings, 4-mana enchantment, when it enters into play, it O-rings something, and your opponents can't cast cards with the same name as the exiled card. It's a quarter, you can, and it's non-land permanent. So you can actually hit a Search for Azcanta if they haven't flipped it. You can hit the Hazoret. You can hit the Glorybringer. And you're going to take hits from some of these things, but then you're going to blank them all for the rest of the game. And now that those are sort of what the format's going to revolve around, more so than, Whirler Virtuoso tokens or Bristling Hydras or things that Ixalan's Binding isn't good against, I think these are some of the cards that are going to see more play, and I'm just trying to look at it from the perspective of a standard player and trying to be ahead of the curve here. Basically, everyone I talked to today at the store was building Merfolk, so there's going to be a pop on all of that stuff. But I also think if you sort of look at some of the decks that are going to get better, and those are Search for Azcanta decks, I like looking at those cards as well.
I think Settle the Wreckage becomes important. I think even some of the stuff from Kaladesh block that just sort of wasn't really that great in the face of red just being way faster. Some of your slower cards I think might have some upside.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. We've got a modern Pro Tour on top of it all, so we've got that to worry about moving forward. But I'm excited for standard. I actually am kind of tempted. We're recording this on Monday night. I'm going to be by the time this comes out, I'll have released them already. But recording standard videos with Merfolk. I'm excited to see what the deck can do. I actually kind of want to build it in paper. We'll see.
Are you playing that 2-mana Lord as a 4-0?
I'm going to be probably.
Or you stacked it too?
No, I mean it probably is, but I haven't completely dove into it yet. I heard that there was a list that 5-0 to competitive league. I want to go check that out.
Dove, really? You're making merfolk fish puns right now. Be a professional, man.
I got fish puns for days, buddy.
Teach a man to fish pun. He puns for days. Stab a man for making fish puns. I don't know.
That didn't get there, man.
Something about the scales of justice.
Swing and a miss, buddy.
Hey, man, they can't all be gems. Just
scales
like the
of justice.
at 2
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, and I was trying to work that out. I was like, oh, there's a thing there, but I couldn't stall long enough.
Yep. Anyways,
that's all right.
We're running up against time here. Do we want to knock out a couple emails?
No, let's do our breaking bulk, then emails, then pick of the week. How about that, listeners?
Ooh,
how does that sound?
Okay.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
I've just named you a bunch of breaking bulks out of the Ixalan. All right, let's do it.
Yeah, we did. I got one that's a rare, and I've talked about it before, and it might have been a pick of the week before, and it just got reclassified in its creature type.
Oh, it's one of those things that just became a dinosaur.
Yeah, it's Regal Behemoth.
Regal Behemoth is a dinosaur. Hallelujah. And everybody is talking about Zakama? Dinosaur.
Yeah, you're almost there, buddy.
And he untaps your lands, and Regal Behemoth is a dinosaur that doubles your mana when you tap lands. So it's a match made in heaven.
Oh, I actually like this
I think Regal
pick.
Behemoth being a bulk rare, that's dumb. I get these in bulk, and I'm like, this was a pick of the week. That's in some decks, man.
I actually
the
agree.
fact that it's a dinosaur puts it in more.
The foil's already spiking. You get on the foil right now.
Yeah.
I've had one of these sitting in my L deck for a while because this card is great.
It's so good, but for whatever reason, some of the stuff from Conspiracy just never took off.
The foil on this
is
going to start moving. It looks like it already is a little.
It's a
$10.
This is a $15, $20. It's a $15, $20.
I agree. It's a $10 foil
two.
in the short term, and I agree. It's 15 to 20 after that. Card is great.
And if you're getting these in bulk for the non-foil, man, just pick them out.
What I didn't realize about this card,
it's a dinosaur now.
So for people who don't know, it's a 6-mana 5/5 dinosaur now. Trample, when it enters battlefield to become the monarch. Whenever you tap a land for mana while you're the monarch, it doubles the mana. I didn't realize it only doubles your mana. It will never double anyone else's mana unless they steal it from you.
If they become the monarch.
Yeah, at first I thought it was like they
take
the monarch from you and you have Regal Behemoth and whatever. No, you literally...
It doesn't double, it adds one additional.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
But still, yeah.
Yeah, this card's actually just great.
Yeah, and it's bulk rare, so...
Was that your breaking bulk or your pick of the week?
That was my breaking bulk. That's not my pick.
But it actually is bulk at the moment.
Yeah.
That sounds like an excuse to get more than one pick of the week.
Eat my farts.
Well, I've been giving you guys pick of the weeks all night here, so...
I feel like it's picks of the week. I feel like you...
Pick of the weeks is...
Maybe it's pick of the weeks. It's pick of multiple weeks. Same pick. Multiple weeks. Lazy. That's what I just did. Boom. DJ's turn.
I have a uncommon artifact from Mirrodin.
Mirrodin?
The original...
Wow, I wonder what it could
Locks
be.
it on
There's a million
Warhammer.
things it could be.
What else should I give you? How about the fact that it's never been reprinted?
Something with
enough for
charge
you?
counters.
Wrong.
Grafted War Gear.
Wrong. It is an equipment, but wrong.
Ugh.
There's
There you go.
Mirrock
It's
cover
an
sale.
uncommon equipment.
Is
from
it the
Mirrodin.
mask?
Nope.
The
It's
mask
an uncommon
thing?
equipment from Mirrodin that's never been reprinted.
The mask was in a plane chase, I think, for what it's worth. And like I said, there's a million equipment in that set, man. Like,
No. I'll
It's
get
an
this.
uncommon equipment from Mirrodin that's never been reprinted. That's a short list.
Thornbite Warstaff?
Nope.
No, not Thornbite Warstaff. The other one. Thunderstaff? That's not an equipment.
The casting cost is 1. Giving you a lot of hints here.
Ooh! Yeah, but if you already know, it's obvious. But if you don't know, it's like, what could that be?
I just picked a bunch of Meriden bulk, and I pulled a bunch of this stuff, but I don't actually know off the top of my head what this makes
Did you
it.
pick Golem Skin Gauntlets from your bulk?
No, I don't.
Well, you should, because Card Kingdom buys them for like a quarter.
Oh, what?
Golem Gauntlets is a 1-mana artifact. Equipped creature gets +1/+0 for each equipment attached to it. Equip cost is 2. Card is from Mirrodin. It's never been reprinted. I see these in every Mirrodin bulk I get because everybody's like, oh, I got all the artifact lands. I got all the obvious stuff. I got all the etc., the mirror retriever, everything.
I've never even
Everybody
seen this
picks
card.
this card from every bulk except, like, they just leave it.
Well, the thing is, it's 30 cents market price, so this is one of those
Card
that
Kingdom sells it for 60 cents.
Do what? Yeah, well, I'm saying
Kingdom
it's a
sells
pick.
it for 60
It's a
cents.
pick.
That's why they
This
buy
is
it
one
for
of those that
25.
is a pick 1 week and then isn't a couple weeks later.
Card Kingdom will buy up to 24 of them for 24 cents a piece.
Yeah, no, I mean that's great right now.
I'm gonna buy list mine to Card Kingdom before DJ can. Suck it, nerd.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, so like you pick them and then like you check the buy list and then it's like maybe down to 10 cents. I still ship it. Like,
yeah, I
still
agree. I'm
ship
with
it.
you. They have 2 available. That's why they're buying them right now.
Because bulk is half a cent and 10 cent is 20 times bulk.
It's true.
So you think 10 cents isn't much, but it's 20 times the bulk rate. If you got it for half a cent,
Yep.
you gotta figure that's pretty good. You're a 10x just for
Well, to be
paying
fair, it might even
attention,
be
or
better than that
20x.
because half a penny isn't even. Bulk's actually less than that now.
Yeah, it's like 0.35
Yeah.
now. So yeah.
All right, well, that's pretty good. I'll give you that one. I'll give you guys.
Yeah, I couldn't guess it because I couldn't even picture the art in my head because I don't even feel like
I definitely did not pick that one because it wasn't on whatever buy list I was looking at the time I was picking Mirrodin stuff. I pulled a lot of other stuff from there.
This is what you get for not buy listing the Card
Well,
Kingdom.
I almost always buy list of Card Kingdom, actually. All right, I'll give you guys an
Everybody
easy
should.
one here, which should be an easy one, but is relevant right now. A Zendikar blue enchantment.
Quest.
and it's what, common? Spreading Seas?
It is Spreading Seas.
Okay.
So
I assumed it
Spreading
was
Seas has
uncommon.
done this. Well, we always talk about the second spike, the double spike thing. It spiked when Oath of the Gatewatch came out, and it went to $2. Since then, it fell back down, but now it's starting to climb back up again. And Merfolk Mistbender out of Rivals of Ixalan is just going to push Merfolk more and more in modern.
Is it Mistbender or Mistbinder?
I don't know, man.
It's
should know
Mistbender,
that.
like in Avatar. You know, he's a warrior.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually was trying. I didn't even know the name off the top of my head. I thought that's what it was, though.
He's Australian. It's Mistbender.
Mistbender. No, so
Also,
Spreading.
don't call someone a Mistbender in Australia because a bender is a.
Yeah.
term.
So Spreading Seas is now $3, and this is I think it's on its way to 4, but I'm not making it a pick of the week outside of telling you that.
This is
It's
a
a-
really easy slap into Masters 25. Like, this
Yeah.
could get Mishra's Bauble.
This is
real quick.
most certainly going to be reprinted somewhere, but that's why I'm not calling it pick of the week. It's already climbed a lot, right? But it absolutely is a breaking bulk because the card is now $3. It's crazy.
Do you get these in bulk? That's like saying, "Hey, Gush is good breaking."
But
bulk.
no one-
Like,
I get
are
Spreading
you
Seas in bulk.
getting?
You get Spreading
Seas
Seas in bulk a lot, man.
Also, Gush is like
Okay.
a $6 card right now because Pauper.
Paper popper, man.
Paper Popper has spiked all kinds of prices.
Oh, geez,
That's
the
its
foil
own thing.
Spreading Seas are like 35. What? I gotta
Yeah.
go grab those. Hang on. I gotta list mine on TCG Player right now. How many look like?
Yeah, you can't wait till after the podcast, you stupid idiot.
Jesus,
Oh, my
come
God.
on, man. Unprofessional.
Hey, I just rolled my chair back. I'm back already.
Can't you be a professional person?
Jesus. It's
Right?
embarrassing.
Corbin didn't even know the name of his favorite merfolk in this set. I don't want to hear it.
It's not even my favorite Merfolk in the set.
Park your pants by your computer and let's predicate some paper popper prices.
What?
You know what? I don't
What?
have to impress you.
All right, moving on. Moving right along. All right, I don't know if we have time for emails, guys. We're pushing up
Yeah,
against
we
it
do.
here.
We haven't
I don't
done
care.
emails
Some of
for
this-
like a month.
Are these
We're
patron
doing
emails?
emails. We're doing emails,
Are they paper
dude.
popper probably patron emails?
Oh god, whatever, man. Just read an email.
This one says important questions, and I'm upgrading to $5.
Ooh, okay, I'm in.
I don't believe you.
I'm in.
He has a dark.
No.
He has a dark magician avatar for his Gmail.
I'm out.
Well, good, you're out anyway, because it says, hello to Jason and DJ.
Hmm.
As to Corbin, go back to sorting cards in the middle of buttfuck nowhere. Seriously, I just got done listening to you complain about how the wizard commander from the precons is the most broken.
It is!
You don't even know how terrible it is compared to Edgar Markov, and there's a reason why it's not that popular on EDH Rick. It's a tier 2 commander at best, and hearing you complain about it is the most irritating thing in the world to listen to.
Yeah, man, it's those 1/1 vampire tokens that'll get you. That's what I want to do in Commander.
Not taking infinite turns with a null.
How broken you have a bunch of 1/1s. Woo!
Let Jason and DJ talk about Commander. You can talk about Modern and Standard, so I know when it's safe to fast forward. As to Jason and DJ, congrats on the good job in supporting the Dead Buffalo Wild Wings feel the weight you have on the cast. As for Corbin, if you're gonna say something, make sure you're not talking into your ass. Happy New Year! I'm upgrading this month. You guys provide a lot of value and make this cast enjoyable. Sincerely, Everett.
He didn't even ask us a question.
If Everett was a real fan, if Everett was a real fan, I would know where that email came from, but I don't. Was it from a computer?
No, I was waiting for you. Sent from my iPhone while sitting by the fireplace before I head out to celebrate New Year's.
All right, I accept.
Cool.
I like how it said important questions, and then
he didn't ask us any questions.
All right, this one is
Corbin. You suck and you're an idiot. That wasn't a question. You're right. No question about it.
I can appreciate a good roasting email, man.
This one is from a $10 patron. Regarding promo foils with alternate art worth speculating. From Brett Bolek.
They are not created equal, but those ones with the map on the back are pretty sus.
They are really
Why, hello,
cool.
Brew Crew. I am a $10 patron. Just wanted to let Mr. Ryan Seacrest know. Now that that is out of the way, I had one main question that I wanted to be covered, but if you had time for the second one, that would be cool too. My main question. I was doing my own research and found that Thematic Compass Buy-A-Box promos are just under $5 at the time I'm writing this email. Also, the card is in about 607 EDH decks. They look worth speculating promo flip on due to the fact that the flip side foil is alternate art. I know Wizards can reprint stuff at any time, but this one would be harder to reprint due to the foil and alternate art. Based on your knowledge, would this be worth speculating on based on the factors that I gave?
600 decks in EDH Rec is nothing.
That is true.
$5 is a bad buy-in.
Journeyer's Kite is not a good card. Even if it turns into Mazers and
I don't like Compass in non-limited. It's in 600 decks for a reason because it's not in 10,000. I don't like it.
I don't like it much either.
I don't like it. I don't like it at a $5 buy-in, even though it's not reprintable.
No, I agree.
I mean, your logic was sound. You did the research, but like I think below like 2,000 or 3,000, I don't even want to.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea, right? But I think they're just going to keep doing stuff like this. And yeah, these are really cool, but
like you had to get in on Escanta early. It's not like you can't just like pick up the ones that seem cheap because there's a reason they're cheap.
Yeah, this card is just
these aren't Ugin's Fate.
They're just not very good.
You know.
All right, second question is there a magic number when it comes to choosing a speculation target on EDH Rick, or does it go beyond the number of copies a card is played in, for example, alternate art, reprints, etc.? Thanks for everything and have a wonderful 2018. Set for my Shika Salte? What does that even mean?
I like that. He's making his
Sheikah.
Wait. Spell it again. I'm going to type it in. Spell it.
Sheikah. Salte. 2 words. Shika Salte.
Salte?
Okay.
What is that?
Got anything? You got anything, Corbin?
Okay. Yeah. This is good. It's a key item in Breath of the Wild.
Oh, what
so
an
it's like
asshole.
a communication device in a video game.
Ooh, that's good. I like that. I haven't played that game, but DJ should have known.
I don't play Zelda games.
Pokemon all the way, huh?
Mostly Pokemon. And Fire Emblem.
I don't have a Nintendo Switch because my daughter's 2 and I'm not, so we don't have a Switch yet.
Huh.
Wow. What a nerd.
I like that. That was
like,
good.
This guy's cool until he's like...
Wait a minute. Oh, wait, did he spell it S-A-L-T-E?
I gotta undelete the email.
I want to know.
S-A-L-T-E.
S-A-L, okay, it's actually...
Like the word salt with an E at the end.
Okay, well, it's actually Shika Slate.
Oh, okay.
I was really hoping DJ just didn't know how to pronounce the word slate.
No.
Unlucky. But no, that's a good one. I'm in. I don't remember what the question was.
It was, what do you buy into Journeyer's kite that has a...
No. The second question is there a magic number
what do you
on
got,
EDH
Jason?
Reckon? No, I haven't. Dude, read my articles. I'll probably get around to
I'm not gonna do that, but you can
seeing
tell
if
me.
there's a. I'll probably get around to seeing if there's like some like threshold, but I kind of think 600 is pretty obviously a no. I mean, it's 3 months old, but like if you look at some of the stuff that's really getting adopted, like look at the good cards for Mixalon and see how many decks they're in, and then kind of go from there.
All right, I think we got time for one more email. What do you guys think?
Yeah, sure, why not?
I think we have time for all the emails. Let's just do it, man.
Fine. All right, this one says, buying my LGS's bulk and Card Kingdom buy list from Joseph Kyle.
Yes, do it.
Hey, Brew Crew, I am no longer a $1 plebe after DJ Stern talking with a dumb guy voice. I am now a $2 plebe, and I plan on increasing it. Fibonacci sequence intervals.
That works out pretty well.
When are you
going
gonna hit? No, when in Fibonacci sequence is he gonna hit? I don't think any of our tiers are Fibonacci numbers other than one.
Well, you can choose to donate whatever level you want. It's just you get rewards at specific perks.
Okay.
Like, you can set your Patreon to, like, $15.50 a month if you want. It doesn't matter.
I don't think 1550 is a Fibonacci number.
I'm just giving you an example, Jason. I was looking for a quick buck, so I reached out to my LGS to see if they have any bulk I could buy. So I'm going to buy like 40k at $2 per 1,000. I was partly inspired because I looked at Card Kingdom's bio list, which includes a whole bunch of ridiculous commons from Standard that fetch a nickel, like Druid of the Cowl, Shock, Cartouche of Solidarity, Compelling Argument, Evolving Wilds. This could turn out to be a terrible financial decision, but we'll see. Also, when shipping the bulk, when shipping the true bulk, what is the minimum where at least pays for the shipping? Thanks, Joey. Set from iPhone, which has no phone service, so it's basically a glorified iPod.
Well, I don't know. Like, you can fit, what is it, 6,000 cards in a large flat rate box?
Yeah,
for...
I haven't shipped those in a while. I mean, you can fit 6K into a 5-row. I think if we're talking about the true bulk, though, you don't want to ship
Don't
it.
ship true bulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't ship true bulk.
That's the answer here.
Don't ship below a nickel. And nickels I only use to like shim a box and fill it up.
Well,
There is
here's
no
the thing.
amount of true bulk you can ship to make it worth it, unless
Right.
you're like talking pallets.
Right, I agree. So, but 40K true bulk, I bet you can unload that at home. Just sell it in like, 5,000 at a time on Craigslist or whatever, and ask $20 or whatever for it. Yeah, you can probably do that to move through that amount of it. As far as shipping it and whether or not it's worth your time and picking it all, I have no doubt that if you're getting 40K bulk, you at $2 per 1,000, you will make money on it. Period. I don't know that you will make enough money to be happy with the time you're going to spend picking 40,000 cards for nickels and then filling out a Card Kingdom buy list order and shipping it.
Well, I think a lot of this depends on like how much the bulk is previously sorted.
Correct.
So like if this is bulk from an LGS that, like, let's just say it's just the leftovers of their like Amonkhet, their Hour of Devastation, their Aether of Vault, whatever. If it's their leftovers, there's reason to believe that it's all like sorted by set, not sorted, but just like dumped into the boxes by sets.
Maybe.
So like it's relatively quick if you have Aether of Vault bulk and you know like the 10 cards you're looking for in that Aether of Vault bulk. You know you're looking for like not Rogue Refiner anymore, but like Gifted Aetherborn, whatever, like those 10 cards, and you can skim like looking at the cards upside down and just like pick them super super fast. Which is one of the ways I do it. Like when I get pre-sorted bulk, I just know like, okay, I'm looking for these 5 cards, go, and then it's just really really fast. You can burn through a 5-row in like less than 30 minutes.
Yeah, sorting upside down is like a trick I think a lot of us develop, so you can see the expansion symbol.
Yeah, it's real helpful for that, actually. Or if you know some of these, you're just trying to pull rares out or whatever. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you're going to make your money. It may or may not be particularly good. And it depends if there's Gifted Aetherborns in there or not, right? If you're just pulling shocks and evolving wilds and getting there a nickel at a time, you're going to get there, but it's not going to feel particularly rewarding. If this is a sort of bulk where you might also
don't do the math on what you paid yourself per hour.
Right. If you actually are pulling gifted Etherborns and stuff, it changes that calculus quite a bit. So, is it going to be worth it? Yeah. I mean, you're not going to lose money on it. Whether or not it's worth it depends on, one, what you value your time at here. And maybe you want to do it as a learning exercise and you know you're not going to make a bunch off of it. But it also depends on what's in there.
For sure. Yeah, never ship True Bulk. Star City buys True Bulk for $4 per thousand, which is really good if they ever come up to your neck of the woods, because then you don't have to rent a U-Haul or anything like that.
They buy that at events?
Yeah.
Yes, you have to contact them beforehand, but there is a preset amount of limit that they'll take. So you can email Star City before an event and be like, hey, I have like 500,000 bulk, can you take it at SCG Syracuse? And they'll be like, yeah, we can take up to this amount, etc., etc. Just talk to our vendor, like, here's the guy's email address, and then you work it out with them beforehand.
That's pretty reasonable. It's not
it's
sad, but $4 per K is not a bad out these days.
Yeah, don't surprise them with it.
They just won't take it, yeah. Like, if you just randomly show... Because they'll have other people pre-organized to, pick up their bulk. So, like, if you'll have to email them a reasonably far time in advance, because when I did it with when they came up to SCG Syracuse, there were other people who would, like, come up to them at the event and be like, hey, are you buying bulk? And they said, like, no, this one guy, like, is supplying us with our entire, what we can
Some
take
guy
back.
named Douglas Johnson ruined it for everybody.
Yeah, basically.
All right. No more emails. Picks of the week.
Pick of the week. Pick of the week. Pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
I have one.
Okay.
DJ disagreed with me before the cast, but I still feel good about it. So this is a card that was like close to $20 because it's a real beating of an EDH card. It was in the Explorers of Ixalan game.
Yes.
Okay, yep.
Yeah, I feel good about this card. It's called Aggravated Assault, and it's basically a relentless assault on a stick. If it combos with all kind of cards that like untap your lands when you deal them damage, like Sword of Feast and Famine and Nature's Will and crap like that. Bear Umbra. It's good for dinosaurs, and dinosaurs are going nuts. Every new dinosaur deck and like every new aggro deck basically is running this. Like, you get a ton of Atali triggers, you get all kind of stuff going on. It's down to like $3-4 based on Explorers of Ixalan. Yeah, this goes back up. It'll never get cheaper than $4 probably, and I don't think people bought all that much Explorers because it's like a $70 board.
I did not
game.
hear very
I
good
mean,
reviews
you can get it
of
for
it.
cheaper. Well, yeah, it seemed like just annoying to play, and like the value's there if you can get it for like $30-$35, but if you're paying $70, you're just gonna eat a big old bag of farts. So I don't think these are flying off shelves. They got them up in time for Christmas, but so what? There was so much Magic product. There was the holiday gift set. There was Unstable. There was Commander 2017. There was all kind of crap.
That was in August.
Well, I mean, it was still there for the holidays.
Explorers?
No.
Oh, the Commander stuff? But, yeah, but, like, dude, you got to think about when Commander people get the... I got the decks for Christmas. I didn't run out and spend my own money. So,
yeah.
Aggravated Assault is in there with, what, like, Time Warp and... a few like $5+ rares, but I think this recovers pretty good.
I like the new
supply,
version of it. I would not be at all surprised to see in the medium term, right, 2 years from now, if the new version is worth more than the old version.
Yeah, the art's cool.
And they'll both be, probably like $10. So.
And like this just goes in like it's a dumb combo piece with Narset and stuff like that. But if you're just swinging with dinosaurs, this is really good.
That product has a Path of Exile in it too.
It's got good stuff. Like, there are good cards in it. They're not $70 worth of cards.
It's got like Shared Animosity, Path to Exile, Lightning Helix.
Oh shoot, Shared Animosity.
Day
That's
of
right.
Judgment,
Yeah, that
Rancor,
card was expensive too. There's a lot of good stuff in there.
Adaptive Automaton.
And all that stuff's going to recover because tribal stuff's so good. And DJ was selling everything that wasn't tied down in that. He was like, "Oh, I got selling the cardboard crap inserts." There are a couple of different ways to actually buy those sets, and if you got a hookup like I do, where you can get them for cost, I'm thinking about buying maybe a case of them. But I think DJ was telling me before the cast, you wait for the $15 off $75 on eBay.
Yeah. Right.
Gift certificate, and then you buy a couple of those for $40 and get them discounted. So if you want to trifle with that, that's fine. But I think if you just want to buy the aggravated assaults for $4, I think those probably go to 10 in 2 years. DJ doesn't think so. I do.
All right, I'm gonna jump in here with one I like quite a bit, and this is important right now just to touch on because we're in January. This is the time of the year when sort of your staple Magic cards, your Caged Suns of the world, your Cyclonic Rifts, your etc., these sort of just staple cards that are always popular, all these cards go up in the first 3 months of the year. It just, for whatever reason, that's how it happens. January,
Christmas money.
Christmas money tax
right into
returns,
tax refund money.
And that's what drives prices over. And it's, you can look at some of these cards, and if you go look at sort of a stable card that hasn't been reprinted for a long time, it's just like clockwork. 2014 January jump, 15 jump, and it just steps its way up the ladder. But Vincer's Journal is right there.
Oh, yeah.
It was reprinted in Commander 2016, and the Scars of Mirrodin version did exactly what we talked about. It went up in the beginning of 2014. It didn't move much in 2015, but it went up at the beginning of 2016, and then it got reprinted in the end of 2016, and it has kind of rebounded in 2017. But what I like most is the new version, the Commander 2016 version that is now almost $4, and it actually bottomed out a few months after it was printed at $1.50. It's now about $3.50.
I want to say we warned people about.
Oh, we
that,
for sure did. I mean, we talk about this stuff every year when they come out, but this is it, right? I mean, it's now primed. It's been a year since it was reprinted. This card, for people who don't know, it's a 5-mana artifact. Just says you have no maximum hand size. Beginning of your upkeep, gain 1 life for each card in your hand. Simple, dumb, stupid effect, worth money because commander or casual, whatever, what have you. It's gonna go up. I mean, it's just gonna take that step from 4 to 5, it's like $3.50 right now, $3.50 to $5 this year, and possibly more, right? And it's so easy to predict this stuff. It almost feels like cheating to make them picks of the week, but you don't have to put them out there on people's radars. It's just just something to keep in mind, something to grab out of a binder, etc.
I hate that card so much
because it doesn't do anything.
It's real annoying to play against because they're like, "Oh, I gain 11 life a turn." You're like, ugh.
No, it's not even anything about the actual playing against it. That card, the first booster box I ever got was Scars of Mirrodin for my birthday.
Okay.
And when I got my first booster box, it had this as my foil rare and then 2 non-foil copies, and it was an absolute garbage bulk rare, obviously. So I just have always had this personal vendetta against that card because it was one of the cards where I just didn't realize it went up until 2012 or whatever. And I just, every time I see that card, I'm like, I hate it. It brings back bad memories.
That's a great story, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, DJ rant. DJ, you got to pick of the week.
I do. Do you guys know what Gush is worth right now?
$6.
Stupid.
Because I told you it was.
Stupid fake money because of paper popper.
Oh yeah, that's why I know. The only reason I would know a price is because you told me. Good call, dude.
Yep. Do you guys know what Chainer's Edict is worth right now?
$15.
$4.50.
It's not 15. It is only $4, but it's probably going to be 7 or 8 soon.
I'm just trying to overshoot it all to let you know how little I care about paper popper and how it's spiking prices.
I mean, it matters.
I agree. It matters. It's dumb because the entire crux of the popper argument is that it's super affordable, and now the good decks are just the same cost as a standard
the other
deck.
part of the argument is that the format's fun to play.
Sure. Sure. I've always people push it because of its price, and now they're just the same price as standard.
People push it because of its price.
I don't even know if that
they
one was
push paper
intentional
popper
on Corbin's part, but do you think
people
that
push
these
paper popper
Corbin,
prices?
do you think Gush goes back down to $2 or $3?
No, I don't think.
No.
Not so long as
How many
Channel
times has
Fireball
it
is
been
running.
printed?
Is running their popper event in Santa Clara was very popular.
Right.
Was it popular? Was it populated by people?
Populated by people playing popper.
It had
Playing
170
paper popper?
people in it.
Yes, it was good. I mean, all these prices are going to move, and they're going to stick there. They're going to be sticky. I don't know if
Okay,
this
so,
format's going to
like,
be
if
around in
you-
3 years, but I'm not. It's nothing about it. It's just the basic crux of the argument of the format was that it's cheap, and now they're just going to be the same price as standard, which we always said was going to happen. There's nothing against the format. It's just, it's just the reality, right?
It sounds like you have a lot against the format.
Well, nobody predicted that the professor would get people.
But
to play
what I'm
Banter
saying is he's
Popper.
literally the one pushing it because of the price, and it's great. Like it's nothing against the format, and I think it's good. But the argument is that anyone can play it, and now you have to go to a Grand Prix. You have to pay a bunch of money to whatever it costs to play inside of it, and you have to buy a standard deck for something that you may not even be able to play at your local scene. It's I don't know. It's just if the appeal of the format is its price,
It's pernicious.
yeah. If the appeal of a format is its price, and its price reaches a point that it's no longer the appeal, I don't know what we're left with.
I mean, but like we can get reprints for these cards too.
Sure.
Nothing in Pauper's on the reserve list. So like,
Sure.
if we get Chainer's Edict at common in like a Paper Masters set that like Masters 25, the card becomes $1 again, and like your entire argument's invalidated.
There's a lot of old cards that see playing Pauper, man, and they're only going to keep going up. And they can only print so much. Like I
they
guarantee you,
downshift all the
Pauper is
time.
not on their radar right now.
Yeah, they can permanently print paper.
It's on their
Popper.
radar in every Master set when they downshift certain cards to common.
They downshift cards to common for whatever reason. I don't think they downshift cards to common because they want it to be played in Pauper.
I think that's a portion of the reason.
Okay, that's fine. There's just a lot going on at Wizards right now that I think is not catering to whether or not Chainer's Edict is $4.
I'm not prepared to predict what those people are predicating their decisions on.
Like, even if Pauper ends up being at the same price as Standard, like, you can make the argument to somebody that they get an Eternal deck.
I agree. Look,
For the
man,
same price as
I know. I'm not trying to say it's a bad thing. I'm just saying the you can have a tier 1 deck for $50 argument was the big selling point, and now that argument is gone.
It's not.
Okay.
This argument.
I'm
is
not even trying to
going.
have it.
It's gone on too long.
Yeah. But go on, DJ.
Do you want to make another Fogo bet?
No.
Yes, do it.
Okay.
Are you going to tell us about the card?
Chainer's Edict? I mean, like,
It was Chainer's Edict.
yeah.
You were talking
What else
about Gush too.
You weren't
so-
even.
Yeah, the Gush is a Mercadian Masks common. Chainer's Edict is a Torment uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
One of these has lower supply than the other.
Remember when Smother promos hit $7 because of tiny leaders? those are good times.
Wow, Jason. If I didn't know any
Are there
better,
any
it might
paper-
sound like you're suggesting the Pauper might be tiny leaders.
No, that was what did I call Frontier? I called
Yeah.
that Tiny Leaders 2.0. I don't think Pauper's Tiny Leaders 3.0.
No, man.
I think
Frontier's the
people-
future, and you just hate players if you suggest that it's
I-
not.
It is the future. It's way in the future. It's way in the future.
I think that was the one that actually
It is-
started the corporate shill.
I
thing
am going
against
to
me.
my first Frontier tournament. I guarantee my self-driving car will take me to it.
Oh man. All right.
So
well,
yeah, it's the future.
Anything else you guys want to hit on before we get out of here this week? All right, I'm in. Go play Merfolk, everybody. Woo!